Hello. Wasn't planning on making a video on this, but since it helped me, it might help you, so what the heck, let's just do this. Please don't pay attention to the quality of this video. Now, if you've got some cheap kind of sealed back tuners that aren't all that good, or the posts are really wobbly, that was the main issue that I was trying to address, and you want to snug them up, or if you have fairly decent tuners where some of the poles are fairly stiff, some of them are wobbly, this might help you too. But focusing on these cheaper ones, to get the back off, I drilled a 2mm hole in there. You can feel it as soon as it pops through. You'll feel it, you stop, you won't damage any gears or anything. I used a kind of like a dentist pick tool just to pry that off. Pops off really easy. You could use a small screwdriver, something like that. Once that's done, you can see this, which is your main kind of gear. To tighten up the actual rotation of the head, obviously, if you hold that, you can do up that screw. So that tightens the worm gear onto this actual tuner part of it. But this is the part we're interested in. If you undo this screw, the screw will come out, the gear will pop off of the post, and then you will either see or not see your post, which may or may not have a wavy washer on it, which is a special kind of washer that acts as a shim, but also is wavy. And this, as I understand, is kind of used if you have things that you want to reduce any vibration in, something like that. Anyway, this set of gold tuners, these all had them, but still some of the posts were wobbly, some of them were fine. So I took two of those wavy washer shims, put them on one of the wobbly posts, just sits right in that notch there, so inserted that back in, did it all up, and that one was fine. So I thought, okay, so an extra bit of a shim is needed for these. The reason I was tackling this is because I got some really cheap tuners off of Amazon, like £9.99 for the set, and the posts in those were play for days, like this, because this has got nothing in it. Play for days. I thought, well, let's figure out what it is. They didn't have any of those washers on at all. Nothing, no shim, nothing. So what I've done, you can buy those wavy washers, I think. You know, these are M5 on the inside, maybe 7mm on the outside. You can buy those, but there's a jerry rig fix. What I did was take, I'd say a Coke can, but actually this was a San Miguel can. Carefully try and drill onto a hard surface. You need a hard piece of wood for this, I found out. A 5mm hole. It's a bit tricky to do because, as you'll see, I was experimenting with actually a different drill size and that didn't work. But say like this one here. That's a good example. Any of the ones that have got like snags that you drill, things like that, that's bunk. That's just going to not be good at all. So something like that, you know, end up with a whole cheese grater full. You can't do too many. There's no such thing as doing too many. Take yourself a pair of nail scissors. Carefully cut yourself out about 1mm around the edge. And you should end up with a little shim washer. Like that. And what we do, if your set already has those wavy washers, you can put one or two of the aluminium can ones on there and wait and see what happens. These are like 0.3mm thick, the actual professional installed wavy washers. Aluminium can, about half that, it's about 0.16mm thick. So on the cheap set that had none of those washers, I put two of these on every single machine head tuner and did them up snug as you like. Wasn't worried about that, and they work perfect. They hold in tune. They work absolutely fine. So I guess you could put some grease on them, something like that, you know, just so over time that they don't sort of wear out as much maybe. But yeah, that was it. So if you have cheap tuners and you wish that they were a bit better, there's two things to do. One, obviously, you can do that up. That just helps it feel more snug as you're tuning it. This other one is probably down to there not being either one of these or if there is one of these, you need an extra shim in there, and that's where the aluminium can method has come in clutch and saved the day. Enjoy!